Hey there, my name's David. On this episode, I'm going to show you how to lose weight for the summer, or how I'm going to lose weight. So I've gained some weight after the end of the year, going through a divorce and end of a relationship. And after that, I started going to the gym a ton, like every day, basically 6 days a week for the last 2.5 months. And so I've put on a lot of muscle, and so now I don't look like a malnourished little boy anymore, which is nice. But now I have too much fat. So I put on a bit of fat from the end of the divorce and the end of a relationship, and as well as putting on bulking for getting my muscle back. So now I need to lose this fat, but I'm in this unfortunate situation where my fat is sitting on top of my new abs. I can feel my abs, they're very strong. I can do front levers, which no fat person would ever be able to do. But now I have the fat sitting on top of my abs. So now the fat is being pushed down. It just looks terrible. I absolutely hate it. I hate my genetics, but you know what? I can get rid of this fat. I've lost 100 pounds before. All I need to lose is a little bit of weight, and I can show you how I'm going to do this. So this is the hardest fat to lose too. The beginning fat, the first 60, 70 pounds is a lot easier to lose than the last bit, but it's all done the same way. You need to be really diligent with this. So we'll break this down into categories. First off, for exercise, I have a whole video on it, but basically hills pay the bills. You want to start running hills, walking hills, whatever you can do, as well as going to the gym. The gym builds muscle and tightens you up. The hills will get rid of the fat. It'll burn more calories. So that's that. I'll link that video at the end of the video so you can watch that in more detail. As for the categories 2, we have diet and we have fasting. So first off, the diet, vegan diet, clean diet, no inflammation. I have multiple videos on why I'm vegan. Meat causes inflammation, you can't lose weight, or it's very hard. It's much harder to lose weight if you're inflamed. You can check into that. If you don't agree, whatever, then you can try doing it on meat. It doesn't matter to me. Nice clean vegan diet. We're sticking with beans and greens. So lots of fiber, help flush things out. The beans, the high protein helps keep our appetite low. This is the main thing. So if you really load up on carbohydrates, you have tons of energy, but it doesn't get rid of your hunger necessarily. And I noticed this with smoothie bowls. They make me feel great, but it doesn't make me feel less hungry. Like once the smoothie goes through, and since it's so, especially a smoothie bowl, it goes through really quickly, then I'm hungry again, even though I've just consumed those calories. It's not always the case, but I definitely notice if I eat a lot of beans, my hunger's gone, it's absolutely gone. Now for the beans themselves, you want to stick to clean beans that don't have sugar in them. We want to get refined sugar out of our diet, so don't buy baked beans or whatever, the ones that have just tons of sugar in them. You just want canned chickpeas or canned black beans. You can get fresh beans, but fresh beans are really hard to find. They're delicious though. And the other thing, those fruits, you can eat any fruit you want really, but I think for losing weight, just because we've domesticated fruit to have such high sugar levels, you want to really get fruit that is lower in sugar, lower glycemic index. You want stuff that's not overly sweet. So kind of maybe not consume 100 mangoes, that kind of thing. You can try it out. You can try just eating whatever you want first, and if you're not losing weight, then stick to fruits that are lower in sugar. I stick with cruciferous vegetables, Chinese vegetables, mostly because they're just higher in calcium. They're larger volumes. Taiwanese cabbage, su choy, gailan, any of this kind of stuff, any sort of weird Chinese vegetable, doesn't matter if it's green, just steam it up and eat it. Put some soy sauce on it, some Bragg's liquid aminos, something like that. That's what I do. I just cut up half an entire Taiwanese cabbage and just steam it, and I eat basically the whole thing. It's almost no calories. It's just tons of nutrition, mostly that fiber fills you right up. There's been new research showing too that the green vegetables or basically anything green, actually it stimulates something to open up the cells and helps release the fat. I don't know, I can't remember, but the research is there. So my general rule is every single meal I have has to have either greens or beans in it, and it's better if they have greens and beans in it. So a smoothie bowl, what I will do is take a bowl, blend up a smoothie, and then put romaine lettuce in the bowl and pour it on it. And I know it sounds weird, but I'm basically eating a salad with a smoothie, but it gives me something crunchy to chew on, and salad doesn't taste like anything anyways. I'll put a few nuts in there and maybe some raisins and a few cornflakes or raisin bran flakes or something else crunchy in there, but not much. And so that's the thing about nuts. So most people, I feel like most people fall into the category of one or the other, of either they're fat adapted or they're not. And I think 80, 60, 70, 80% of people are like me, where you can't deal with fat. It's basically the fat you eat is the fat you wear. And a perfect example of this, if you watch the TV show Alone, if you haven't watched it, it's a TV show where people are just dropped in the wilderness and have to survive for 3 months on their own. The people who end up killing a buffalo or a wildebeest or not wildebeest, like a wolverine or a bison or something. They're like these muscular, meaty animals, but they have no fat on them. These people end up losing weight even though they have thousands of calories because they're just all protein. And the people who end up catching fish are the ones who keep their fat on their body. So the fat you eat is your fat you wear. For that reason, I cut all fat out of my diet, basically. I'm allowed to have 6, 7, 8 nuts, something like that. Literally count the nuts. And that's what I'm allowed every day. Other than that, I don't eat anything that's high fat. There's no chocolate, there's none of that stuff. It's all very high carb, low fat. It can be high protein as well, that's fine. High protein, low fat, doesn't matter as long as it's low fat. Okay, so now for fasting, what we're gonna do is break it down into everyday fasting and then like a 1-day fast. So every day we wanna do 12 to 14 hours of fasting every single day. And if you're a real superstar, then you do 16 hours. It just depends. For me, I do a lot of activity. I work out 6 days a week and sometimes 7 days a week. Realistically, you wanna give yourself 1 day off to rest. Yeah, you have that fasting every day, and scientifically it's been shown now that if you fast and you get proper sleep, I'm not gonna talk a lot about sleep, I have multiple videos about it, but you wanna get to bed before like ideally like 11 p.m., 12 p.m. So you have the REM sleep, the rapid eye movement, so your body can basically, like its clock settles down and also you stop eating by 7 or 8 p.m., 6 p.m., something like that. So your body is in a complete rest state and your body is like in tune with the world's clock with the night cycle, that your body actually releases everything and it's allowed to heal. Your body always wants to heal, it doesn't want inflammation. If you're fat, then your body knows it's carrying extra weight on its joints that it doesn't want. So get your sleep, get to bed early, don't stay up late, don't stay up to 2 a.m. We're doing the 12 to 16 hour fast, whatever you can do, just try to get 12 hours in. And then you want to do one fast every week, ideally probably on a Saturday. That's a long fast, like 20 hours. And now there's new scientific research that shows that if you fast, but you are really lazy that day, so what we're gonna do is have a 20-hour fast. Doesn't matter what hours you're fasting, but whatever works for you, but you have full 20 hours that you fasted and you do nothing. You're just sitting on your couch watching TV. You can go for light walks, just no chopping lumber or going for runs or heavy deadlifts in the gym, nothing like that. If you do that while you're fasted, you end up breaking down your muscle and not your fat. So you found if you are really lazy and stagnant while you're doing a long fast, it breaks down all the fat instead of the muscle. So I usually do this on a Saturday, so that way the next day you might be a little bit dizzy as well as on the Saturday as well. So you get that day to kind of recover so you're not dizzy at work. And that's basically it. So just make sure you get the fasting in, you get your good rest, and you get your greens and beans in, and make sure to drink lots of water. You need to flush out your body, B12, some vitamin D3, and a couple months from now, you'll look super lean, or at least if you're morbidly obese, you'll have lost a lot of weight. That's what I'm going to be doing. I need to get this fat off because I really hate how I look right now because I have this fat ring on my stomach. So hopefully this helps you out and it helps you in your weight loss journey. Be sure to let me know in the comments below if it does, and be sure to subscribe, or if you have any questions, leave them down below. And until next episode, have a good one.